side. In other words, I represent public employers and private employers regarding employment and labor matters. It has been my experience over the last 20 years of doing this kind of work that the mere filing of a lawsuit will cost you substantially more than the value that is associated with the release agreement in this particular resolution. There is a value of $10,000. I can tell you it was significantly higher of a demand. That demand was reduced and negotiated to the point where it was settled on the $10,000 figure. That figure falls well within the parameters of what, from my perspective as an employment lawyer representing an employer, would say to the employer, this represents nuisance value. By that I mean there is a cost-benefit analysis that every employer has to take into account when they consider whether or not they're going to accept a settlement or a resolution of a potential legal matter, because lawsuits generally will take anywhere from 12 to 24 months to get to trial. In the process, you will spend thousands and thousands of dollars in defending a lawsuit, even if the other side loses at trial, because for the most part, it is very unusual to be able to dismiss an employment case at the motion for summary judgment stage. And at that stage, you've already spent a significant amount of money. I represented a private employer in the recent past that we spent over $125,000 in defending a lawsuit that I was able to get dismissed at the motion for summary judgment stage. In other words, didn't go to trial, but it still cost $125,000 in defense costs because of the motions filed by the plaintiff's attorney, the request for production of documents, the depositions that were involved, and the cost of preparing the motion for summary judgment, arguing it to the court, and so forth. So the value associated with a settlement agreement takes a cost-benefit analysis with regard to money and time and disruption to the entire workforce that accrues from these kinds of actions. As part of that settlement, there were certain conditions that were negotiated by the opposing attorney that were presented to the city for purposes of, can we reach a deal that we can bring to the city council for their consideration? And that's what these documents do for resolution, to put this behind the city and move forward on that basis. Any other questions?